question for you. What is your best memory? What is the most memorable thing that you've done in your entire life? Something that you will never forget. I bet if you're married, to many of you, it's your wedding day, it's your honeymoon, it's, I don't know, the birth of a child. It's going to be one of those things. If you're not married, it was probably the day you graduated from high school, your prom, your sweet 16, your quinceañera. It's going to be all centered around an occasion. Today, I want to talk to you about what makes moments memorable and give you 10 ridiculously easy but amazing ideas to make sure that your life is filled of memorable moments. Because I know you've heard it before. Life is not about years and years and years that are great, but it's about those magical, amazing moments that are interspersed in your years, between your weeks, among your months, that make life so amazing and wonderful. It doesn't mean that everything's perfect, that everything's always going to go your way, but God has given us as Christian women the ability to recognize greatness in small moments. So if you're interested in turning this day completely around and making this the best season of your entire life, then you want to stay tuned. Hi, I'm Pastor Sharo, and this is the Preacher Girl podcast. Every week we bring you new content from the Preacher Girl community to help you live a better Christian life. Because we believe that every preacher girl has a message and she doesn't need a pulpit to preach it. So today, just because fall is in the air, you guys know it's my favorite time of year, and I've already done so many things that make each and every morning spectacular for me. I know that not every morning I'm feeling my best. I know not every morning something great is going to happen, but because God says His mercies are new every single day, I've decided that I'm going to partner with God to make sure that every single day is the best possible day of my life. It's really good for us to remember as women of God that we are not promised a certain amount of days. The only person that knows exactly how long each one of us have on this earth is God Himself. The Bible says He's actually written the number of our days down. That means before you were born, God already knew how many days you were allotted on this earth. So it is in our best interest to make sure that every single day of our lives is lived to the fullest, that we live it the best, most incredible way that we possibly can, to have never said, I wasted that day, or I wasted that moment, or, I wish that day didn't happen. The first thing I want you to always remember is that life will get hard. There are days that you cannot prevent bad things from happening. Somebody says something bad to you, your kid hurts themselves at school, you miss your train, whatever it is. Sometimes it's a big deal, sometimes it's a small deal. But the devil has ways of making sure that you're faced with it first thing in the morning. So the first thing I want you to never forget, which will not only make this fall the best season ever, and winter, or wherever you are in the world, whatever season, whatever month, whenever you're hearing this, I guarantee you, God has a way of being able to take bad things and turn them into great things. But you must know that the Bible says in this life, you're going to have issues. You're going to have problems. So don't let the problems that happen in every day paralyze you. No matter how big or how small they look, or if they're overwhelming to you. I know sometimes it is so difficult. Some of the things that you girls deal with on a regular basis, everybody else doesn't have to deal with it. But we have a promise from God that says all things are working together for our good, for the good of them who love God and are called according to His purpose. And you know what preacher girls say? If God calls you, no one can uncall you. So if we know, look, tomorrow, we're probably going to have some problems. But our God is bigger than our problems. So we don't face the day expecting the problems, but when they come, and if they come, we know we're going to overcome those problems. Once that's in your mind, that greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world, then it doesn't matter what comes your way, you're still going to be able to overcome it. For those of you who've been with me for any amount of time, you know I'm a big proponent, I am a big supporter of starting your day the right way. Please start your day the right way. For those of you who get up on a grumpy side of the bed, change your side. You know, these days, because it's fall and the weather is so beautiful, I make sure that if you have a window, please do this. Make sure that some natural sunlight comes into your room. There is nothing like waking up without an alarm to natural sunlight. Something in the sun, when it enters in your room, when your eyes open that way, is so refreshing. It is better than all the artificial light in your bedroom, an alarm that's going that you just want to kick it. When something wakes you up in such a harsh and abrasive manner, it sets the tone for your whole day. And your whole day is spoiled because of that and you're like, oh my gosh, you hate your alarm, you want to smash it. Instead, if you find ways to wake up gently, to wake up happy, to wake up calmly, even if you have to have an alarm, have an ascending alarm. So it doesn't start with that aggressive volume, you know, and don't set your alarm for 2 minutes before you got to walk out the door. Give yourself 30 minutes. Or if you're a person like me, you like to pray in the morning before you get your day started, give yourself an hour before you have to do anything. So you wake up gently, calmly, kind to you. Another thing I like to do these days is leave the window a little bit open because the air outside is so crisp and cool in the morning. And when that fresh air comes in, your blankets feel extra cozy and the sunlight's coming in. It's such an amazing way to wake up. If you live in a place where there are birds or, you know, you can hear the leaves and the trees rustle, I promise you, it is better. If you have a streaming device or your phone, you can set it to wake you up to worship music or instrumental music that's calming. Do that. I always keep some water right on my nightstand and let the first thing you drink in the morning be a glass of water. Let the first thing you see in the morning be the rays of sunshine. Let the first person you speak to in the morning be God the Father. Let the first thing you hear in the morning be something that you want to hear, not something that sets you off on the wrong foot first thing in the morning. Number 3, if you want to make sure that every day is worth living, that you're just having the best season of your life, then it is so important to capture your memories, to capture your moments, and take the time to pay attention. You'll never really fully understand how small things make the biggest difference in our lives. Sometimes it's not gonna be, you know, oh, I got a new car, you know, like Oprah, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. We all wish we had those moments where we're in that kind of environment where everybody gets something free. But there is a child that will come and give you a little flower, a tiny little weed flower.
Here, partner.
What? Wow, I love this one. Okay. Or something that simple. And you know what we do? We say, thank you, that's so sweet. And then we move on. But if you ever take a moment to let that have an effect on your heart, to stop, to stoop down, to look your son or your daughter in their eye, and to say thank you from the depths of your heart for giving me this gift. You know, it's one thing that I realized in the English language, especially in the United States of America, we've lost the art of thank you. We really don't know how to say it anymore. We've lost the art of you're welcome. Do you know there are 100 different ways to say you're welcome? You know, I don't know if you know what I mean, but you know, somebody says to you, thank you for that. And you're like, you're welcome. And then I hear other people say things like, no problem. And now we don't even say no problem. We put NP on our text messages and that covers it. But I just want to, and this is my next tip. I want to encourage you to practice the art of gracious manners. When you say thank you, mean it. Understand why you're saying thank you. Even if all somebody's done is brought you a glass of water or stepped aside or opened the door for you. When you say thank you, look somebody in the eye and say thank you, right? But even better than this, when somebody says, hold on, there's a bug. Sorry. Even when somebody says thank you to you, Hear this, my girls. This is gonna change your life right now. Okay, maybe it won't change your whole life, but it will at least change the way you respond to people. Instead of just automatically responding with "you're welcome" without thinking about it as subconscious, or "you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome." Think about what you're saying. Let me give you some examples of some other things you can say besides "you're welcome." When somebody says, for instance, "Oh, thank you for thinking about me and buying me lunch," you can say, "It's my pleasure." What? Do you see what you just did to "you're welcome"? You elevated it. It's different. "It's my pleasure." Or, "Thank you for giving up your Saturday to go with me to this preaching appointment." Or, "Thank you for coming over and helping me clean my house." If they say that to you, then you say, "Oh, don't mention it. I was happy to do it." Instead of saying, "Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for helping me bake that cake for my son's birthday. Oh, I enjoyed that. I was so glad to do that for you." Take your time to say you're welcome, right? Even if somebody has you do something that you don't want to do, like, when your kid gets a bad grade and then they come and they show you, and instead of flying off the handle, you said, "Okay, we're going to work on this together and you're going to get a better grade next time." And they say, "Mom, thank you for not yelling at me," or "Thank you, Mom, for not taking my allowance away," and you really want to take their allowance away. Even just saying, "You're welcome," or walking off on your child, your spouse, your friend, or whatever, even if you're not happy with what they did, the mere fact that they took the time to say thank you to you for that, you can look at them and say, instead of saying, "It's not a problem, it's my pleasure," none of those things would fit, but you can say, "Don't mention it." Just increase and up your manner game. The way you have courtesy and the way you show manners to people, just by your common courtesies. Step back and hold the door for somebody. Consider somebody when you're out to lunch, when you go to buy lunch, bring something back for somebody. And you don't have to spend any money to do this anyway. Just smile. Just say, "Hey, can I help you with that?" But I believe in this time and this day, God is telling us that we need to be kind to all people, to men, to women, to the poor, to the wealthy, to the ones who are like us and the ones who are not like us, to the ones who believe like us and the ones who don't believe like us as well. This one's going to seem frivolous compared to all the rest, but it's such a good one, girls. Fix your hair. I mean, you don't have to spend an hour and a half at the hairdressers to fix your hair. I don't care if you got A, B, C, D, or X curls in your hair. I don't care if it's straight, if it's fine, if it's thick, if it's blue, if it's black. It doesn't matter. It's your hair. It's your crown. It's your glory. You can wear it well. Find really great ways to style your hair. If you're a curly hair girl, don't let people make you feel bad if you like your hair straightened out. That's your choice. If you're a curly hair girl, you like to go natural, don't let anybody make you feel bad that that's the way you like to wear your hair. It's on your head. You wear it how you want to wear it. But girls, do take the time to switch it up a bit. I guarantee you, just one change of your hairstyle changes your whole mood. I don't care, and I don't mean go get a haircut, seriously, put it up in a ponytail. You get an instant facelift. It's crazy good. If you're an older person, it pulls everything back and it's so cute. Some days, I'll tell you a secret. My hair hasn't been washed since Saturday, okay? And I'm recording this close to Saturday because I wash my hair maybe once a week, and the rest of the time, dry shampoo is my best friend, right? But some days I'm gonna put a half a ponytail. Some days it's gonna be up in a messy bun. Some days it's gonna be straight. Some days it's gonna be curly. It's gonna be easy to fix, but it's gonna look different. I suit my hair to whatever my style is that day, and just because I'm in a bad mood, it doesn't mean I'm gonna come in greasy head and looking like the girl from The Ring. Don't do that. Wear your hair. It is, the Bible says, it's a demonstration. It's a symbol of your honor and your glory. And I found in my life, it didn't matter if I had the big Diana Ross do going or if I had slinky straight hair. As long as felt good and healthy and it looked a certain way, it did something not only for my self-confidence, but it did something for my overall mood. And girls, I'm telling you, that's a lifesaver tip. You don't even have to like it. It's still true. Do look presentable. Do care about the way that you present yourself out there, because you're not just a woman. You're a woman of God. You're a daughter of Jehovah. He made you a certain way. And at the very least, wash your face and put your hair in a ponytail. So here's another idea. And all of these things are things that really have changed the way I see every single day, and it brings me joy. That's why I'm sharing it with you. They may not all work for you, or they might. But girls, this one is magic, especially if you're the kind of girl who wakes up on a Sunday morning and by the time you try on 65 outfits and you pick the one you're finally wearing, you get here and wish you didn't pick that one. If you were that kind of girl, then you gotta listen to me, and this will save you, right? When you go through your closet, those of you who have bags and bags shoved up inside your little closet and you have 16 things hanging on one hanger, it's time for us to do some purging, do some downsizing. But when you go through your closet, and maybe some of you can do this today and send me a picture, I would love to see what it looks like before and after. I need you to pick out all of the things that when you wear them, they make you feel amazing. You know, and don't say, oh, I know what it is my big fuzzy sweater with the hole right, not that one. And when I say amazing, I don't mean comfy cozy. I mean, it makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel like this is my best look. You know, I don't have to say anything. When I wear this, I feel a certain way. And, you know, for those of you who think, well, a woman ought not to care about what she dresses, first of all, the Bible doesn't say those words, but I remember people like Dorcas in the New Testament. Do you know that she was a maker of dresses? You know that the Eshet Kail, which is the Proverbs 31 woman, the warrior woman of God, that she was a seller of purple, and purple just meant expensive fabric. There's a time and a place for all of that. Some of our, you know, preacher girls, they design clothing and they do such a marvelous job of that. It is a gift to work with your hands that way. So I want you to go through your closet and find those pieces. I'm only gonna give you room for 10 things. If you had to pick out your 10 favorite pieces, pick them out and put them together in one part of your closet. Trust me on this. Now, don't pick out the things that are pretty, or the things that you want to wear one day, or the things you got to drop 4 sizes to fit in. Pick out your 10 favorite things. Like if you had to get dressed now, you would pick that up and you would put it on and feel comfortable. The only problem is you wore it yesterday. That kind of thing. Your favorite pair of pants, your favorite skirt, you know, even if it's just 10 shirts, it doesn't matter. Pick those out. Not the one that says, you know, Rugrats on it. No. The one that makes you feel like you could go into a meeting with that. You could go to dinner with that. You can meet your pastor and talk to him about something serious, or her. You know, pick those 10 things out and put them aside. And what that does is, on those days when you're confused, when the enemy is going to use small things like that to distract you, to get you flustered before worship, to get you thinking that you're not a good decision maker, you go back to those 10 things and you just pick something. And half of your battle is already won, because those choices are already made. And it's 10. You have at least a week and a half worth of clothes right there, right? When you mix and match it, do it. And you'll find yourself, 2 things will happen. 1, it'll take a lot of stress off of you. But 2, you're going to start to get less and less attached to all the other million things that you have hanging in your wardrobe. I think girls, I'm about to give you a winning tip. And it has worked for me since I was since my 12th birthday. I tell you this story all the time. I'm going to tell you again, because some of you have never heard this story before. On my 12th birthday, I got up so excited. I ran down the stairs of my house. How many of you know how many stairs are in your house? Well, there were 17 in my house. 17 stairs, and I ran down the 17 stairs. I was so happy. I was bursting with joy because it was my 13th birthday. I ran outside and I grabbed my toothbrush. We brushed our teeth outside. We didn't have indoor plumbing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 13. I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm 13. And then all of a sudden it hit me. I'm not 13. I'm 12. It was like a blow to my stomach. I remember that day feeling like, oh my gosh, my whole life is over. I was so excited to be 13 that the thought of being 12 wrecked me. It really happened. I remember it very, very clearly. And so I started moping on my 12th birthday and being sad about it. And my mom said to me, today's your birthday, and you're usually the most crazy person, the happiest person on your birthday. What happened? And I said, well, I thought I was 13, but it turns out I'm only 12 today. And she said the most profound thing to me. She said, yeah, but only for 364 more days. And she was right, because 13 was still coming. I didn't lose 13. 13 was still coming. And I remember, and she said to me, she said, this is your last year of being 12, you know, you're never going to be 12 again. And for the rest of my life, and now I'm 46 years old, and I love being 46. I loved being in my 30s. I loved being in my 20s. I've been through a lot of stuff in every decade of my life, but I can't ever look back and say, you know, this was a bad age, or I did not enjoy that age. I am enjoying myself in my 40s in a different way. In my 30s, it was a different season. In my 20s, also different, but I don't long for any of the past years of my life, because one, I will never be this young again. This is it. I'll only get older from here, and by the way, so will you. But this is the ideal age for everything that I have learned in my life. All the things I've been through from the time of my conception to this very moment has brought me to this very moment. Everything that I've lived through has made me the woman I am today. And I like being here. And the more I like being where I am right now, the more I enjoy being in the skin I'm in the age I'm in the wisdom I'm in the learning capability that I'm in the season I'm in the ministry that I'm in the place that God has me in my life right now, the more He can use where I am. Paul told Timothy, he said, let nobody despise your youth. Right? So in other words, he was saying, you're not too young. And remember Caleb? Caleb said, I'm 80, but I'm still as strong today as I was 40 years ago when you gave me the promise you gave me. So he was not too old. You're never too young or never too old to be exactly happy, exactly where you are in your life right now. Somebody needs to snap out of your regrets, snap out of your longing. We got a lot of teens they can't wait to be 21. And we got a lot of 30-year-olds who are regretting getting out of their 20s. And we got a lot of 40-year-olds who would give anything to be 30 again. And we got a lot of 50-year-olds who said 40 is the new 20. It's exhausting. How about we just own where we are, like where we are, enjoy where we are, and make the best of it, and say, God, you brought me this far. I've come this far by faith. If it was, and look how good we look for our age. Woohoo! Celebrate that. Celebrate. You made it. You made it this far. And God knows there were days we didn't think we would make it, but here we are. Live like that. Live knowing and enjoying and being fully satisfied in the exact place where God has you right now. You know, one of the lessons that I've learned the hard way in life, but it has added the most joy, I think, to my earthly existence, and I'm not talking about a spiritual lesson here, I'm talking about just a very natural, normal, everyday life lesson, is to use your good dishes. And I say it all the time. And if you're not, you know, a mom or a homemaker, you're like, well, I don't have any dishes. It's a principle. It's not an actual dish, example. When I married Kurt, he didn't have a whole lot of clothes or shoes and stuff because those things just, didn't matter to him. He says they still don't matter, but he has a really extensive wardrobe now. But he had these one pair of shoes that it was in a box. It was brand new. He had never worn it. And so I think it was a Christmas morning. We were getting ready for church, to go to church, and he pulled those brand spanking new shoes out of the box. He put them on his feet, and we were walking out the door, and I heard him say, "What the?" He looked down, and the whole sole and heel and bottom of the shoe was back there. And when he lifted up his foot, it was just a top over his foot, because the shoe had been put away for so long and not touched that when he finally put it on, the thread had dry rotted and the whole sole fell off of the shoe. And he never had the opportunity to wear that shoe, because he had put it away. And that wasn't the day I learned that lesson, but that was the day I hope he learned that lesson. But that's a lesson I learned a long time ago from my godmother. And she would always say, you don't have to save it, you could use it. And that principle, I've carried it through my whole life. And I tell you all the time, it's okay to have beautiful things that you keep, fine china and stuff like that, but use it. Use it, take it out and use it on an everyday occasion. I love how my sister-in-law Danielle does this with Cadence. She collects, Sissy collects teapots, exquisite teapots. She has teapots from all over the world, from Israel and London and all over the world. But you know what you'll often find her doing? Having a tea party with her daughters with those teapots. They're not put up there as tokens and as things to look at. They enjoy those things. And I found in my life that has brought me more joy. I don't save my shoes for that one time every 10 years. I wear them as much as I can, so I get the most enjoyment and the most life out of them. I don't have any fine china. I don't have any great silver. Whatever we have, we use it every single day. Let me tell you, the most wonderful things in the world are the things that are most used. And I need you to know that. It's just like a message I preached last week on being vessels of God. It doesn't matter if you're ornate and beautiful and nobody uses you. When the master wants a vessel, he's looking for the one that's most available. That becomes the most valuable vessel, the one that's empty, the one that's available, and the one that you want to go to every single time. And it's the same principle in your life. If you have something that you just adore, a piece of jewelry, a piece of furniture, take the plastic off and sit on it. I'm sorry if you have plastic on your furniture because you want to keep it clean, but baby, who are you keeping it clean for? Rip the plastic off your seats. Take the plastic off the screen. Enjoy the good things that you've been given. You know why? Don't save it for family who will come from America. Don't save it for guests. It's for you. God blessed you with it. You deserve to enjoy what He has given you. When it's finished, it's finished. It was well used and well worn and well enjoyed. Wouldn't you like God to treat you that way? Or would you like Him to put you up on a shelf and look at you every 10 months? Or would you rather God said, I want to use her today. I want to use her again today. I want to use her tomorrow. I want her to be in use every day of a 365 and a quarter day year. Why? Because you're beloved. So you deserve the good things. I love that. One of my favorite things is if I give one of my girls one of my dresses and I see them in church with it, oh my gosh, I can't describe to you the utter joy, the joy that I feel when that happens. And why? Because they're wearing it. If I kept it to myself, it would have stayed in my closet for another 6 months when my rotation starts over, So do wear your favorite pieces over and over. People say you only have one pair of pants. Oh well, if I feel good in these great pants, you might see me in these great pants every single day because they're mine and I enjoy them and I like them. I peel the plastic off of everything the minute I get it. Why? Because I deserve to see it shiny. And yeah, it won't stay shiny forever, but when it's all done, God will just give you something else that's shiny. So do use your fine china. Do use your best dishes. You got a cutting board that you're saving? Chop up some veggies on that sucker. I mean, on that cutting board. Use your best shoes. Wear the soles right out. The last thing I want to share with you before I go, because I trust me, we can talk like this for weeks because it's mostly just me. Okay, it's only just me talking. And my life lessons, because I'm over 4 decades old, are a lot. But I feel like the hardest one to do, but the one that makes the most difference in your life, is to allow people to love you. Girls, isn't that hard? Isn't it difficult to release your feelings and to trust people? And to allow somebody to say, I care for you. Allow somebody, a sister, to hold you, hug you, bless you, without feeling like, why is she being nice? Why do they think I'm broke? Why are they having pity on me? Or immediately comparing yourself to them? Or one of the million things we do. Well, I don't want to open up to you because you might hurt me. Guys, yeah, they might. There's a big chance that when you open up your heart to people, they're going to hurt you. And that's the way human nature is, but you can't lock yourself away. Some of you have no real friendships. You have, no real relationships. You keep everybody at bay. You keep your secrets and your hurts, and you keep your pain to yourself because you don't think that anybody is going to care or like you if they found out that you're dealing with these things, and people would judge you and forsake you and walk away from you. But I can't speak for the world, but I can tell you not everybody is like that. And even if the people you trusted in the past might have hurt you and let you down and even stabbed you in the back or whatever else they did, it doesn't mean that you have to shut everybody else from the world out. But allow people to love you. Allow people to care for you. Allow people to say, girl, you look beautiful, without you saying, no, I don't. Oh, this old thing. You just saying that. Or just say, oh, thank you for saying that. Or you just made my day. Or what a kind thing to say, thank you. Just allow people to show that they care. And you're like, Pastor, I want people to care, but nobody cares about me. Nobody shows me that kind of affection. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Usually that's because people don't get that kind of affection from you. Often, not always, but often, if people feel like you're unapproachable and you're difficult to speak to, or you're just vexed, you're mad, they're not going to feel free to come and care for you and love you and show you kindness and to be good to you. But if people do, if people like me, and I reach out to you guys all the time, every single week, saying that you might not know me, but you have a friend in me. You have a friend in me. I have friends that I have never seen. So many of you, hundreds of you that we may never see each other face to face, but sometimes I do get to see you. I go to another state or a country to preach, and somebody comes up to me and says, I saw you. Even up to Wednesday, somebody came up to me and said, I follow you on YouTube and you've changed my life. And I'm thinking, Lord Jesus, how could you have done something like that? How could you have done something so miraculous that this child, this person that you love could stand here and tell me that I somehow made an impact on them? It could only be Jesus that allows that to happen. But I want you to just allow yourself to be cared for. If you say, Lord, I will care for people, will you please send people that will care for me? I guarantee you, God will send those people your way. Just because, I get a lot of Facebook messages, a lot of YouTube comments, and I can't respond to them all. I try to read them all. I try to respond to the ones that are very, meaningful, or I can tell that this person, um, needs me. And I try to respond to those. But allow your pastors to shepherd you. Allow the leadership in your church to be there for you. Allow your friends in your friendship circle. You might say, well, you don't know my friends. Well, choose better friends. Choose kinder people. Choose more genuine Christians, and allow them to care for you as you care for them. Care for people and let that care come back to you. So it's not only just, I notice I didn't say love others and serve others like I usually do. Allow people to serve you too. Allow people to not just compliment you, but bless you without you asking. Allow people to say, the Lord said to do this for you, and say, thank you, Lord, for that. And by all means, show gratitude to them when they do. So I know all of you have learned a lot of life lessons in the lives that you've lived, and I would love to hear some of the things that, that you've learned. And I know it's easy to drop cliches here. I know it's easy to say do unto others and all of that. And I would love to hear those, but I would also like to hear the things that you do that make your life meaningful. And I know that there are many, many things, creating small moments for your children and for your husband and for your family, and seeking God's face early in the morning, and all of those things matter. But if there's anything that you think can bless somebody else, do leave it in the comments. And maybe somebody just needs that one little thing that can completely turn their day around and can help them enjoy not only the world that God created, but the people that He put in your friendship circle, and also make you so much more appreciative of all the things that He has already blessed you with. We may not have everything we want, but we most certainly, all of us, have all that we need, and we have God to thank for that. So preacher girls, I hope that this has somehow helped you understand what it will take to make this the most enjoyable season of your life. And guess what? Your next season will be your then most enjoyable season of your life. It's how we as women of God can go from glory to glory to glory. We can live a life that not only pleases the Father, but is so enjoyable to us all. I hope you really never ever forget that you don't need a pulpit to preach. You just need a message, because if God called you, no one can ever, ever, ever uncall you.